Good morning, everyone.
Good morning po, Dear Gino and Dear Dawatin. Good morning po.
Good morning po.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone.
Morning everyone. Morning kapatid.
Morning, kapatid.
Isang maulang umaga.
Grabe ulan dito, kapatid. As in, ang
Oo.
ginaw-ginaw.
Dito rin, sobra. Dito nagtigil. Ayun o. Bubugso pa. Ayun nga po.
Ingat po tayong lahat.
Ingat po.
Sir, good morning again po. Sir, we have a quorum na po. Would you like to start the meeting na, sir?
Yes, please. I would like to call this meeting to order for the 43rd online meeting for the Business and Rewards Committee Back 3. Secretary, please confirm the quorum for the record, please.
Thank you po, Mr. Chair. And good morning po again, everyone. Welcome to the 43rd online meeting of the DICT Back 3. Please be advised that this meeting is being recorded for documentation purposes. We would like to acknowledge and put on record the presence of Honorable DICT Back 3 members. For the end user provisional member, we have Mr. Dante Leonen. Good morning, sir.
Good morning po. Good morning, everyone. Mr. Chair, Vice Chair, good morning po.
We also have Director Jimnisha Dawatin as the provisional member. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Good morning, Mr. Chair.
Lano as the regular member. Good morning again, sir.
Morning everyone. Morning Mr. Chair.
And this meeting is being presided by our chairperson, ASEC Gerald James Vires. Good morning again, sir. With
Good
the presence of
morning.
the back members, morning, sir. With the presence of the back members, the back secretary confirms the presence of a quorum.
Thank you, Secretariat. Can you please flash the agenda for today?
Shown on the screen po is our proposed agenda for today. We have one agenda, which is the negotiation meeting for the procurement of fuel fleet card service. This is a negotiation. The approved budget for the contract is 9,068,062 pesos. The end user for this project is Mr. Dante Leonin. This is all for consideration of the back members. Having the agenda presented, may we have the approval of the back, please?
Any comments or recommendations, back members? Hearing none, can I hear a motion for the approval?
Mr. Chair.
I move.
Yes, please.
Go ahead po.
Dr. Gino, you were saying?
Sir, quick question lang po.
Yes.
Anong ibig sabihin usually sir pag binanggit natin na negotiation meeting?
Okay. This is a negotiated procurement already because I believe,
Okay.
Backsec, please correct me if I'm wrong, because nagkaroon na to ng two failed biddings. That
Okay
is
po.
why it's already in a negotiated mode. So right now we will be presenting the the terms of reference, and we will be consulting with the prospective bidders regarding if this is acceptable to them or if they want anything to be changed, or if there is any particular requirement that we would try to maybe adjust to be able to accommodate more of them. Din po.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. With that, I move for the approval of the agenda po. Thank you,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Chair.
Thank you, Dr. Gino. Any second po?
Second motion, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. We have an approved agenda. Backsec, please proceed.
Thank you so much po, Mr. Chair. May we also have your approval po to admit the other end user representative as well as the negotiators po for today's negotiation meeting po, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Yes, yes, please admit them already. Thank you.
for the information po of everyone, we have two supposedly bidders po for apologies po, three. However, only one bidder lang po was able to attend today's meeting, sir. With this po, just still proceed po, sir? Or we should wait po for the other, sir? But we already sent a follow-up email, sir.
Okay. Sorry, sino yung attendees?
Si Petron lang, sir. We have po, si Northern Star, Autogas, and si Petron.
Okay, can we wait for maybe an additional 5 minutes if that's okay with the members? If pagka hindi makasama, then we can proceed with kung sino man yung available.
This is noted po, sir. Thank you po.
Members, is this okay? 5 minutes lang para medyo ma-check natin kung makasama pa yung iba.
Okay po on my part, Mr. Chair.
Also good from my part, Mr. Chair. Okay po.
Similarly okay, Mr. Chair. Thank you po.
Thank you. So, Secretariat, pagka 10:15, let's proceed with kung sino man yung available.
Thank you, sir.
Backsec, let's proceed.
Mr. Chair, apologies po. Nakapag na po kami kay Otoga, sir, and replying lang po siya at the moment, sir. Waiting lang po kami sa response if he will be joining or not po.
All right, copy. So, how many more minutes should we wait?
Mr. Chair, we can proceed na po. You said po, sunod na lang po. May problema daw po sa internet.
All right, copy. Anyway, ano naman to, di ba? We're trying to, at the very least, provide additional basis for yung mga documentations nila para hindi naman puro DQ na lang ng DQ. Okay, so let's proceed, please.
Copy po. Thank you po, Mr. Chair. Good morning po again to all the other end user representative, technical working group, and to our negotiator. Welcome to the negotiation meeting for the procurement of fuel through FleetGuard. For proper identification, may we request our negotiator to kindly introduce yourselves po. State your name and company you're representing, please.
Hello, good morning, back members, back chair. I'm Marvin Resma, Area Sales Executive from Petron Corporation. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, sir.
Marvin. Yes, Backsec.
Thank you. Please be advised that this meeting is being recorded for documentation purposes and furthermore to promote transparency pursuant to Section 38 of RA 12009. A copy of this recording will be uploaded to the DICT official Facebook page. Mr. Chair, with your permission, we will now proceed to present the SMAT talk for the reference of the end user, sir.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
And the negotiator.
Morning, everyone. Welcome to the negotiation meeting for the project procurement of fuel through FleetGuard service. For the project details, the invitation to bid for the project was posted on July 13, 2025 on the following PhilJEP's website, the ICT website, the ICT bulletin board. Invitation to observers for negotiation meeting was sent on July 14, 2025 to the following: Audit, Chief Information Officers for Foundation Inc., Institute of Electronics Engineers of the Fields Inc., Philippine Computer Society. However, no observers present in the meeting. For prospective bidders who receive an invitation to today's negotiation meeting are Northern Star Energy Corporation, Petron Corporation, and Autogas Corporation. The DICT now invites bid for the project name procurement of fuel through FleetGuard service with a bid reference number DICT-2025-002 NEGO with an approved budget for the contract of 9,068,062 pesos. For the agenda, House rules, schedule of activities, instruction to bidders, checklist of technical and financial documents, to envelope system and proper filling and markings, bid data sheet, technical specifications, forms, post-qualification documents, and reminders to bidders. For the House rules, everyone is encouraged to make clarifications, identify name and company before raising a question, limit questions to the details of the procurement at hand. For the instruction to bidders, bidding requirements, the bidding for the project shall be governed by all provision of RA number 9184 and its 2016 revised IRR, including its generic procurement manuals and associated policies, rules, and regulations as the primary source thereof, while the herein clauses shall serve as secondary source thereof. Any amendments made to the IRR and the other GPT issuances shall be applicable on the ongoing posting of advertisement or IB by the bank through the issuance of a supplemental or bid bulletin. Apologies po. To continue, any amendments made by the IRR and the other GPP issuances shall be applicable only to the ongoing posting, advertisement, or IV with the back to the issuance of a supplemental or deed bulletin. The bidder, by the act of submitting its bid, shall be deemed to verify and accepted by the general requirements of this project, including other factors may affect the cost, duration, execution, and or implementation of the contract, project, or work, and examine all instructions, forms, terms, and project requirements in the bidding documents. For the corrupt, abusive, and coercive practices, the procuring entity as well as the bidders and supplier observe the high standard of ethics during the procurement and execution of the contract. They or through an agent shall not engage in corrupt, fraudulent, collusive, and coercive and obstructive practices defined under Annex I of the 2016 revised IRR of RA number 9184 or the other integrity in competing for the project. Bidders only bids of bidders found to be legally, technically, and financially capable will be evaluated. Foreign ownership limited to those allowed under the rules may participate in the project. Pursuant to Section 23.1.3 of the 2016 revised IRR of RA number 9184, the bidder shall have an SLCC at least one contract similar to the project, the value of which adjusted to the current prices using the PSA CPI must be equivalent to at least 50% of the APC. The bidder shall comply with the eligibility criteria under Section 23.4.1 of the 2016 IRR of number 9184. For the subcontracts, subcontracting is not allowed. For the bid and payment currency, payment of the contract price shall be made in Philippine peso. For the bid price, use the proper form of goods offered from within the Philippines or goods offered from abroad indicating price schedule. For the bid security, all bids must be accompanied by a bid security in any of the acceptable forms and in the stated in the ITB Clause 14. For the copies, each bidder shall submit one original and 2 copies of the required documents. For the 2 envelope system for sealing and markings must consist of the mother envelope. Mother envelope consists of eligibility and technical documents and financial documents. The eligibility and the technical documents must consist of eligibility and technical original copy, eligibility and technical duplicate copy, and eligibility and technical triplicate copy. Also for the financial documents must be consist of financial original copy, financial duplicate copy, and financial triplicate copy. Also for the 2 envelope system and proper sealing and markings must be addressed to the Department of Information and Communications Technology from name of bidder in capital letters, address of bidders, bidder capital letters, with the project name, procurement of fuel through Flipkart service. Also, please indicate the bid reference number, DICT-2025-002 NEGO. And please note in capital letters, indicate the phrase do not open before July 28 at 1:30 p.m. Deadline for submission of bids, deadline for the submission of quotation, legal, technical documents in sealed envelope is on July 28, 2025 at 12 noon. And also for the opening of quotation is on July 28, 2025 at 1:30 p.m. For the checklist of technical and financial documents, technical component envelope, legal documents, valid field jobs registration certificate, platinum membership, all pages. Note pursuant to Section 8.5.2 of the 2016 revised IRR of RA number 9184 and GPPB resolution number 15-2021, Class A eligibility documents indicated in Class A of the PhilJobs registration certificate, platinum membership must be current, valid, and updated at the time of bid submission. The failure by the prospective bidder to update its certificate with the current and updated Class A eligibility documents shall result in automatic suspension of the validity of its certificate until such time that all the expired Class A eligibility documents has been updated. Thus, prospective bidders are required to update their PhilJobs registration certificates prior to the submission of their bids. For the technical component envelope, that technical documents, statement of prospective bidder of all its ongoing government and private contracts, included contracts awarded but not yet started, if whether similar or not similar in nature and complexity to the contract to be bid. C. Statement of the bidder's similarly completed contract similar to the contract to be bid except under conditions provided for in section 23.1, 23.4 and 23.4.2.4 of the 2016 revised IRR of RA number 9184 within the relevant period as provided in the bidding documents. For the attachments, any of the following documents must be submitted together with the statement of singularly completed contract and use acceptance certificate at least satisfactory and official sales invoice for the contract. Please note that we have added an additional option for the SLCC requirement, which is the certificate of completion at least satisfactory. Also, for the technical documents, original copy of bid security, if not from surety bond, submit also a certification issued by the Insurance Commission or original copy of notarized bid security declaration. Note, bidders who opt to submit a bid security declaration as a form of bid security are required to use the bid security declaration form in the attached bidding documents. Next is the schedule of requirements. Next is the conformity with the technical specification, which may include production, delivery schedule, manpower requirements, and or after sales parts if applicable. Next is original omnibus one statement and if applicable, original notarized secretary's certificate in the case of a corporation, partnership, or cooperative. The original special power of attorney of all members of the joint venture giving full power and authority to its officer to sign the OSS and do acts to represent the bidder. For the financial documents, the prospective bidder's computation of net financial contracting capacity or committed line of credit from a universal commercial bank in view of its NFCC computation. For the Class B documents, applicable a duly signed joint venture agreement in the case of joint venture is already in existence, duly signed, duly notarized statements from potential joint venture partners stating that they will enter into and abide by the provisions of the JBA in the instance that the bid is successful. For the other documentary requirements under RA number 9184 as applicable. For foreign bidders, claim by the reason of their country's extension or reciprocal rights to Filipinos, certification from the relevant government office of their country stating that the Filipinos are allowed to participate in government procurement activities for the same item or product. For the financial component envelope, original of the signed and accomplished financial form, original of the signed and accomplished price schedule. For the other document requirements under RA number 9184 as applicable, certification from the DTI if the bidder claims preference domestic entities. For the evaluation, reminding bidders to kindly break down all the costs of the taxes pursuant to section 32.2 of the 2016 revised IRR of RA number 9184 to all bidders shall be required to include the cost of taxes such as, but not limited to, value-added tax, income tax, local taxes, and other fiscal levies and duties which shall be itemized in the bid form and reflected in the detailed estimates. Such bids, including said taxes, shall be the basis for the bid evaluation and comparison. For the bid data sheet, contracts similar to the project shall be fuel card service. Next is completed with 3 years prior to the deadline for the submission and receipt of funds. For the bid security shall be in the form of bid and declaration if any of the following amounts. The amount for the form of cash, cashier manager's check, draft guarantee of or a revocable letter of credit amounting to 181,364 and 24 centavos. For the surety bond, must be amount of 453,403 and 10 centavos. For the post-fiction documents, within a non-extendable period of 5 calendar days from receipt by the bidder of the notice from the bank, it's submitted that lowest calculated bid. The bidder should submit its latest info and stock returns filed and paid to the BIR electronic filing system, and their appropriate licenses and permits required by the law and stated in the BTS. For the forms, schedule of requirements, technical specifications, bid form, with scheduled goods for price for goods offered from within the Philippines, bid securing declaration, and omnibus warrant statement. For the forms, pursuant to Section 5.3 of the Government Procurement Policy Board Circular 04-2020, bidders are highly encouraged to use the templates forms provided to minimize errors or omissions in the form submitted. However, failure to use said templates forms is not a ground for disqualification, provided that the form submitted includes all the mandatory provisions required in the 2016 revised IRR of RA number 9184 and its associated issuances as identified in Clause 2 of the required Form 6 section of the bidding documents. For the mandatory provisions for the bid form, bid prices in figures and words. Next, the bid file includes the taxes such as but limited to the value-added tax, income tax, local taxes, and other fiscal and duties which shall be itemized in the bid form and reflected in the price schedule or detailed estimates. For the price schedules, as indicated in the price schedule shall be entered separately in the following manner. For the goods offered from within the PE's country, the price of the goods quoted EXW, EX Works, EX Factory, EX Warehouse, EX Showroom, or off the shelf as applicable. Next, the cost of all the sales and other taxes already paid or payable. Next, the cost of the transportation, insurance, other costs incident to deliver goods to their final destination. And next, the price of the other incidental services, if any. Also, for the price schedule, for goods offered from abroad, the price of the goods should be quoted, delivered, duty paid with the place of destination in the Philippines. Next, price of other incidental services, if any. And next, for the services made based on the form which may be prescribed by the PE's laws, rules, and regulations. For the bid securing declaration, bidder shall enter into a contract with the PE and furnish the required performance security within 10 calendar days from the receipt of the notice of award. The bidders accept that it shall be automatically disqualified from bidding for any procurement contract with any PE for a period of 2 years upon receipt of the blacklisting order. Next, it will pay the applicable fine provided under the guidelines on the use of bid securing declaration within 15 days from the receipt of the written demand by the PE for the commission of actions resulting the enforcement of the bid securing declaration under the definite provision of the IRR of RA number 9184 and its associated issuances. For the omnibus warrant statement, the signatory is the duly authorized representative of the bidder and grant full authority to do, execute, and perform any all acts necessary to participate, submit the bid, and to sign and execute the ensuing contract accompanied by the relevant authorized document. Type is not blacklisted or barred from bidding by Government of the Philippines of any of its agencies offices, corporation, or local government units, including foreign government, foreign or international financial institutions, whose blacklisting rules have been recognized by the GPPP by itself, or a relation, membership, association, affiliation, or controlling interest with another blacklisted person or entity as defined provided for in the Uniform Guidelines on Blacklisting. The Omnibus Warrant Statement. Each of the documents submitted in satisfaction of the requirements is an authentic copy of the original, complete, and all statements and information provided therein are true and correct. Reader authorized the hope of her duly authorized representatives to verify all the documents. Reader complies with the disclosure provision under Section 47 of the RA number 9184 and its 2016 revised IR in relation to the provisions of RA number 3019. Next, bidder complies with the existing labor laws and standards. Next, bidder complies with the responsibilities of prospective eligible bidder provided in the PPPs. Next, bidder did not give or pay directly or indirectly any commission amount, fee, or any form of consideration, pecuniary or otherwise any person or official, personal or representative of the government in relation to any procurement project or activity. In case an advance payment was made or given failure to perform or deliver any of the obligation and undertakings in the contract shall be sufficient funds to constitute criminal liability for swindling or commission of fraud with unfaithfulness or abuse of confidence, through misappropriating or converting any payment received by a person or entity under the obligation involving the duty of deliver certain goods or services. The prejudice of the public and the detriment of the payment person of the Article 315, number 3815 as 1930 as amended of or the revised penal code. For the other required form on the bid security aside from the bid security declaration, and warranty security. Security is voted in favor of the PP. Next, amount of the security which is denominated in pesos, which should not be less than the required percentage as follows. Number 1, for bid security based on the PCTP bid. Number 2, for warranty security based on the total contract price. And number 3, for warranty security based on the required percentage of the broker's payment or total contract price. Next, validity period which should corresponding to the time frame provided 16 revised RRR of RA number 9184 and its associated issuances. Next, respective obligation for undertaking that is guaranteed relative to the faithful performance of the responsibility stated in the relevant provisions of the 2016 revised RRR. Next, for surety bonds, it shall be callable upon the issued by the surety or insurance company duly certified by the Insurance Commission as authorized to issue such security. For the statement of the bidder of its ongoing government and private contracts, included contracts awarded but not yet started, names of the outstanding contracts with the other contracting party, PE or private company allowed by the rules, contract date, period, and amount of value. For goods, kind of goods, and dates of delivery. Next, for the statement of SLCC, similar to the contract to be bid, name of the completed contract with the contract date, period, and amount which should correspond to the required percentage of the ABC to be bid. The value of that is adjusted to different prices using statistical price increases when necessary. Next, for goods, relevant period or delivery date when the said SLCC was completed, user's acceptance or official receipt or sales invoice issued for the contract if completed. And next is the definition and description of the similar project or major categories. For the owner's certificate of acceptance or CPS rating accompanying the statement of the bidders in SLCC. For owner's certificate of acceptance, number one, name of project owner that issued the certificate. Number two, name of the contractor, constructor. Number three, name of contract. And number four, contract duration. For CPS rating, a final rating at least satisfactory. For contracts with the private sector, equivalent document shall be submitted. For the bidder's capitation of NFTC or committed line of credit for goods for NFC capitation, number one, APC to be bid. Number two, amount of value of bidder's current assets based on audited financial statements. Number three, amount of value of bidder's current liabilities based on the AFS. Number four, amount of value of the outstanding or uncompleted portion projects under ongoing contracts, including awarded contracts yet to be started, coinciding with the contract to be. For CLC, number one, ABC to be bid. Number two, amount which should be at least equal to 10% of the ABC. Number three, unit of issuing foreign universal or commercial bank as confirmed or authenticated by a local university or commercial bank. For the joint venture or notarized statement as to foreign EJB for goods, if EJB is already in existence, the content shall include the responsibility of each of the JV peers for its contribution to the JV. Next, the contents of the notarized statement from all potential JV partners shall include that they will enter into and abide by the provision of the JBA in the event that bid is successful. Next, failure to enter into JB in the event of a contract award shall be a ground for the bid disqualification and subsequent forfeiture of the bid security. For the application as to reciprocity to the foreign bidders for goods, foreign bidder claiming eligibility based on its country's extension of reciprocal rights to Filipinos shall submit a certification to the relevant government office of their country stating that the Filipinos are allowed to participate in their government procurement activities for the same item. Shown on the screen are the prescribed for the security declaration. For the price schedule for goods offered within the Philippines, bid form. For the reminders to bidders, the clock at the DST lobby using the Philippine Standard Time is the official reference time during submission and receipt. Member of the box secretariat will be assigned to receive the bid documents at the DICT lobby and shall stamp this as received. Bidders are reminded that the entry inside the DICT premises is subject to the safety and health protocols in place, and processing of payment for the bidding documents prior to the submission of the actual bid offer may take time. Presence in the DICT premises does not constitute submission on time, which shall refer to the actual handover of the bid's proposal to the authorized personnel of the box secretariat. The cost of bidding documents to be authorized bidders on July 13, 2025 from the given address and website below, and upon payment of the applicable fee of the bidding documents pursuant to the latest guideline by the GPP in the amount of 10,000 pesos. And the Department of Information and Communication Technology, Box Secretariat Office, 3rd floor at the ICT Building, CP Garcia Avenue, Diliman, Quezon City, with the website at www.dict.gov.ph. Also, this is posted within the job's website. And please note, in accordance with the guidance on the sale bidding documents of the 2016 revised implementing rules and regulations of Republic Act number 9184. Also, please note, pursuant to the resolution number ICT-2024-23 guidelines on the sale bidding documents. For the common causes of ineligibility and disqualification, invalid field job registration, invalid field job certificate underlying supporting document, pursuant to Section 8.5.2 of 16 revised IRR of RA number 9184 and GPP Resolution number 15-2021, all class eligibility documents indicated in Annex 3 of the PhilJobs registration certificate platinum membership must be current, valid, and updated at the time of its submission. Failure by the prospective bidder to update its certificate, the and class A eligibility documents shall result in the automatic suspension of the validity of its certificate until such time that all the expired class A eligibility documents must be updated. Thus, prospective bidders are required to update their PhilJobs registration certificates prior to the submission of their bids. Next is a failure to attach the required supporting documents for the statement of single largest created contracts, failure to the contract to be bid, and failure to all the mandatory provisions pursuant to GPPP circular number 04-2020. Next, submission of unsigned documents. Next is the submission of audited financial statement without stamp receipt of the BIR. Next, failure to submit the bid securing declaration in the prescribed form attached to the bidding documents. Take note that the bid securing declaration has additional mandatory provisions pursuant to GPPP circular number 04-2020. Next, failure to submit bid securing declaration and endorsement without a journal, as required in the form provided in the bidding documents pursuant to the latest rules of notarial practice. Next, failure to indicate compliance in the technical specification and attach proof of compliance if applicable. Next is the failure to submit forms which do not contain all the mandatory provisions pursuant to GPPB circular number 04-2020. Also, for the submission of bids through courier service, bidders are reminded that the courier service personnel must submit the bid proposal to a personnel of the Back Secretariat Division at the office provided below. Bid submission proposal left by the courier service personnel at the lobby guard or any other personnel or staff assigned to the authorized Back Secretariat personnel will not be considered submitted for purposes of bid opening. Responsibility to ensure that the courier service personnel submits the bid proposal to the authorized Back Secretariat personnel is the sole responsibility of the prospective bidder. That's all po. May we request for the end user to present the technical specification.
Thank you, Secretariat. But for the presentation of the technical specification, technical requirements, I would like to request Mr. Chair that Engineer Leo and DR gets to be recognized to present the requirements. Sir.
Engineer Leo, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Maliit lang, ay, konti lang.
Hello. Good morning, everyone. Good morning to the back chairperson and the rest of the back secretariat, and everyone in this meeting room. So, allow me to present the technical specifications for this procurement activity, procurement of fuel and food card services negotiation. So, item 1, scope of service. So the scope of services covers a comprehensive fuel fleet card program for the ICT Central Office motor vehicles, end users, and drivers, including the following. So first, card features and specification of each card. So it is expected to have card number, the office name, vehicle details, type of vehicle and vehicle plate number, the expiry date, as well as provision of cards for 50 vehicles listed in the attached Annex A. Also, included is the activation or cancellation of fuel fleet card services in case of loss or per instruction of the ICT General Services Division. Next, the product includes the following. So, research octane number, RON 91 or higher for gasoline, and 50 cetane or higher for diesel, and shall be Euro 4 compliant. Also, total fuel allocation for the one calendar year based on the allocation per service vehicle per month indicated in the fuel card. So, a total of 46,300 liters for the gasoline and a total of 109,200 liters for diesel. So for the fuel withdrawal, standard fuel withdrawal shall be allowed on a full tank capacity based on vehicle's tank size for both diesel and gasoline-fed vehicles per day. Also, fuel withdrawal shall be allowed 7 days a week, Monday to Friday for the one calendar year. Under membership fee and other fees, any membership registration fee, card enrollment fee, and card printing fee shall be free of charge to the department. Also, no handling fees shall be imposed. Next, the following are the responsibilities of the fuel fleet card service provider. First, they should ensure that the service station or branch shall load fuel only to the vehicle indicated in the fuel fleet card, and no excess shall be allowed outside the maximum allocation. Also ensure that the fuel fleet card is protected from duplication or hacking. Also, they shall have a web-based or computer-enabled program for data tracking or monitoring reflecting the monthly purchases and consumption of fuel. Also, they should provide replacement or new fluid fleet card upon the written request to the DICT Central Office under the same terms and conditions, including instances when new vehicle has to be replaced the motor vehicle that has been disposed of. In case when the ICT procures new vehicles, said newly acquired vehicles can be enrolled by the service provider in the fuel fleet card program upon written request of the DICT Central Office under the same terms and conditions. Also, they are responsible for dispensing fuel and making it available at the accredited branches of its stations for a period of one calendar year under the agreed terms and conditions. Also, a transaction slip, receipt, sales invoice shall be issued every time fuel is withdrawn. Also, the main service station or branch must be within 10-kilometer radius from the ICT Central Office at the ICT Building, CP Garcia Avenue, Diliman, Quezon City. Next, for the funding of the project, the cost for the petroleum fuel fleet card, including annual administrative cost, is estimated at 9,068,062 pesos for the one calendar year, inclusive of 12% VAT and service charge from GST FY 2025 funds. Also, for the delivery, inspection, and testing of fuel fleet card, the procuring entity or end user shall conduct testing and or inspection of the fuel fleet card to be delivered by the winning bidder. The DICT Central Office will conduct testing and inspection as part of the post-award requirement. Also, the fuel fleet card must be delivered upon expiration of the existing fleet card service contract of the department and should be activated and ready for use upon delivery. For the terms of payment and schedule, payments shall be made on a monthly basis upon submission of the service provider of a statement of account or billing statement or sales invoice. Payments shall be based on the prevailing actual fuel pump price at the time of the withdrawal. Also, the fuels that will be not consumed within the contract period of the fuel shall not be charged to the ICT. Lastly, next, duration of the contract. The contract should be for a period of one calendar year, commencing upon the expiration of the existing fleet card service contract of the department. The contract will end once the one calendar year period has been completed or in case the ABC has been fully consumed or in case the ABC has been fully consumed, whichever comes first. Next, renewal or extension of the contract. In case of renewal or extension of contract, the procedure thereof including the performance evaluation in case of renewal, will be conducted in accordance with the procedure and criteria in the guidelines on the renewal of regular and recurring services in the 2016 device implementing rules and regulation of RA 9184. Next, item 7. For the contact person, the following DICT employees shall be authorized and direct contact person of the service provider. So, Dante T. Leonel, Chief Administrative Officer, General Services Division. Also, provision for the liquidated damage. When the supplier fails to satisfactorily deliver goods under the contract within the specified delivery schedule, inclusive of duly granted time extensions, if any, the supplier shall be liable for the damages for the delay and shall pay the procuring entity liquidated damage, not by way of penalty, an amount equal to 1/10 of 1% of the cost of delayed goods scheduled for delivery for every day of delay until such goods are finally delivered and accepted by the procuring entity concerned. The procuring entity need not prove that it has incurred actual damages to be entitled to liquidated damage. Such amount shall be deducted from any money due or which may become due to the supplier, whichever is convenient to the procuring entity concerned. In case the total sum of the liquidated damages reaches 10% of the total contract price, the procuring entity concerned may rescind the contract and impose appropriate sanctions over and above the liquidated damage to be paid. Entitlement to such liquidated damage, the ICT need not prove the damages actually incurred. Said damages in any amount shall be deducted from the any amount due or may become due to the service provider to contract or collect such liquidated damage from the retention money or other securities posted by the service provider at the DICT's convenience. Last part, reservation clause. The DICT reserves the right to reject any and all bids and declare a failure of bidding or not award the contract at any time prior to the contract award in accordance with Section 41 of RA 9184 and its IRR without thereby incurring any liability to the affected bidder or bidder. I think that's all for the technical specifications. Thank you.
Thank you po, Sir Leo. Mr. Chair, may we have your permission po to proceed with the negotiation po, please?
Yes, please. Please proceed.
To our breather po, since only one lang po si Sir Marvin, you may now ask your questions, sir. Or if any po, you may raise your hand and upon asking questions, kindly state your name. Yes, sir.
Hello, Mr. Chair, and everyone. Just want to ask lang po regarding lang din sa BDOCS payment amounting to 10,000. Pwede po ba nating i-waive na yon or are we still going to magkakaroon pa rin po ng ganitong bidding document purchase po? Thank you.
Secretary, may I clarify, is this something that we can waive? Total nakaano na tayo. This is the third round already. According to the rules, ano po ba? Is it possible?
Apologies po, Mr. Chair, just pulling off the back resolution po. May guidelines po regarding dyan, sir.
Thank you.
For a while lang po, Mr. Chair, we'll clear po the rest. So guidelines, the detail of bidding documents po. Apologies po. For a while lang po, Mr. Chair.
It's okay. It's okay. We will wait.
Mr. Chair and the rest of the back po. Sir, with this po, may we request po muna an executive session po. Meron lang po need i-discuss for this one po, sir.
All right.
May we excuse lang po muna the people, sir, to kindly join po the breakout room, please. Thank you po.
All right. Yes, back, sir. Sir Marvin has,
Thank you po. Mr. Chair, Ma'am Raj po will explain po regarding the sale po of the bidding documents, sir.
Good morning po, Mr. Chair and all the members of the PICD Back 3. Yung Ma'am Eden, pa-share naman po sa screen yung back resolution regarding the sale of bidding documents po. Thank you.
Yes, Backsec, please proceed.
Apologies po, Mr. Chair. We're just pulling up the signed document po.
Palakahan ng konti. Mr. Chair, sharing on the screen po was the back resolution 2024 to 200-3B regarding po the sale of guidelines on the sale of bidding documents po. Previously po sa Mr. Chair, dated July 23rd July 2024, during a meeting held po with the several senior secretary officials po, there was a suggestion po from the secretary not to waive po the sale of bidding documents. Based on the rules po, during rebidding, pwede po tayo na i-waive na yung pagbili po ng pag-purchase po ng ng bidders ng bidding documents. However po, this was as instructed po during the meeting po na pinag-instruct ni secretary o previous secretary na hindi na po i-waive yung ating purchase ng bidding documents, and kahit po regardless of the mode of procurement po or the activities na po like rebidding and negotiated po, kailangan na pong magbayad ng bidder po ng bumili ulit ng bidder ng bidding documents po, new bidding documents po. Considering po for this project, hindi naman po sa part ng DICT nagkaroon ng problema while there was a failure of PD. So hindi po, and based also this on the back resolution, this back resolution po, hindi po natin sir pwedeng i-waive yung pag-purchase po ulit ng bidding documents for this particular project po or sa kung ano pa man pong projects in the near future po, considering that there was the guidelines po on the sale of bidding documents regarding this, and this was also to address po yung co-observations, various observations regarding the purchase of the bidding documents po, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Ma'am Reg. Thank you for that clarification. So with that, we can readmit Mr. Marvin.
Thank you so much po.
Secretariat, have we readmitted the prospective bidder?
Apologies po, sir. Nag-leave po yung bidder. We will coordinate again, sir.
Okay, please.
Mr. Chair, rejoining lang po si Sir Marvin po. Okay na po, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Sir Marvin?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Hello, sir. Sir, based on the current rules that we have, based on a recent back resolution, we have to still require for the payment for the bill documents, unfortunately, sir.
All right, sir. Copy po. Mr. Chair.
Sir,
Thank you.
would you have any other clarifications for the body?
None naman na, sir. Okay naman na yung the rest ng mga information na na-discuss earlier.
Noted. Backsec, any other matters po? Kung, do we need to discuss any other things with the bidder, sir?
We'll just be presenting the final reminders po, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Yes, please proceed.
Mr. Chair, for the clarification lang po pala, if he has still a further clarification po, he can still send within the day, sir. He can email po at the back at pict.gov.ph or at backsecretariat.gov.ph. pict.gov.ph. Again po, he may send his email, sir, at back@pict.gov.ph or at back.secretariat@pict.gov.ph. That's all po,
Noted
Mr.
po.
Chair. Nana po from our end.
All right, so the final reminders, wala na? We're done?
Yes, sir. That's all po.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Sir Marvin, for your time. We hope that we'll be able to successfully bid this out because we really need this in the office as well. Thank you, Secretariat. Any other matters?
None na rin po, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, back members. With that, again, thank you, Sir Marvin. Thank you, back members.
Thank you po.
Can I hear a motion to adjourn, please?
Motion to adjourn, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Any second po?
Second, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. We are adjourned. Have a good day, everyone. Keep safe sa ulan. Salamat po.
Salamat
Thank you
po,
po,
Mr.
ASEC,
Chair and
and
Backsec.
of the back
Salamat
members
po.
po.